More and more men today are consciously choosing to ignore beautiful women. On the surface, it might seem illogical. Beauty has always been at the center of attention. But times are changing, and modern men no longer chase after appearances, especially when problems lie beneath. I will explain why ignoring beautiful but capricious women is a conscious choice that helps men preserve their dignity, self-respect, and inner peace. Each of these women plays by her own rules, which are often dictated by selfishness and narcissism. Don't fall for their manipulations, and don't become part of their games. Today, I'll show you 6 reasons why you shouldn't waste your time and energy on those who only pretend to be valuable. Beautiful women get used to excessive male attention. When a woman is beautiful, she gets an overwhelming amount of attention daily. Compliments, likes, gifts, these become routine for her. The man trying to win her favor becomes just another one in a crowd, and she doesn't see anything special in him. To her, he is just one more person in an endless line of admirers. As a result, she stops respecting men as individuals. In her eyes, they become tools to boost her self-esteem, not people with feelings and desires. Consequently, any attention she receives no longer feels valuable because there's too much of it. She grows accustomed to a steady stream of male interest, taking it for granted. The more men try to earn her attention, the less she values them. Ultimately, men who try to please such women place themselves on a lower level. A strong man doesn't chase after something that's available to everyone. He knows that true value lies not in what is easily attainable, but in what is earned through respect and mutual understanding. Over time, her beauty becomes a tool for control, allowing her to manipulate men. For her, each new man is just another opportunity to validate her ego and reinforce her self-worth. But for the man, this only leads to superficial connections devoid of real depth, a consumeristic attitude toward men. Beautiful women are used to men doing everything for them, and they are not shy about using this to their advantage. In most cases, they see a man not as a person, but as a resource, someone who can give them something: money, gifts, services. What matters to her is what he can offer, not who he really is. Men who fall into this trap begin to believe everything is fine. They justify her behavior, trying to please her even more just to keep her interested. But this is a deception. A man who constantly strives to satisfy a woman loses his dignity. The more he gives, the less she respects him. A real man understands that his value isn't measured by how much money, gifts, or services he can provide. The true worth is found in those who rise above manipulation and games, recognizing that real relationships are built on mutual respect, not on financial exchanges. As she becomes accustomed to getting what she wants from men, her expectations grow. But each man who continues to feed this dynamic only deepens her consumer mindset, making genuine connection impossible. The expensive entry fee. A beautiful woman is used to high standards. Her demands exceed what most men can provide, and she is not shy about making that clear. For her, dates must be expensive, gifts exclusive, and men willing to spend their resources to earn her approval. She views men as a source of material gain, and if he doesn't meet her standards, she quickly loses interest. This entry fee often becomes an insurmountable barrier for many men. They begin competing with one another, trying to prove they can offer more. But this only complicates things. The more resources a man invests in such a relationship, the higher the price he must pay. The price of entry is too high to be worth playing the game, but even if you manage to overcome that barrier, it doesn't guarantee a genuine relationship. A beautiful woman who evaluates you solely by material criteria will never respect you for who you are. She sees you only as a way to satisfy her demands. A wise man understands that the cost of such a relationship is too high and chooses to focus on those who appreciate him for his character, not his financial status. In pursuing a woman with high standards, men often find themselves trapped in a cycle of constant giving, only to find that respect and affection are still out of reach. The true price of these relationships isn't worth the effort. Creating a circle of men around her. Beautiful women often use their looks to constantly attract male attention. This helps them maintain a sense of self-importance. She creates a circle of admirers around her, each one hoping for her attention. But in reality, it's just a game. She doesn't need any of them, but enjoys the control she has over them. A man who joins this circle becomes one of many. He stops being an individual and turns into part of a crowd. Her interest in him is limited to how much he can feed her ego. She enjoys his attention but doesn't see him as a man worthy of real respect or serious relationships. A man in the circle around a woman becomes just another deer in the herd. A man should avoid these situations. Don't try to win over a woman who thrives on her power over a crowd of admirers. A strong man won't stand in line for her attention. He knows his worth and chooses those who are ready to value him without manipulation or games. Her interest isn't genuine, it's about her ego. And any man who falls into her orbit becomes just another number, losing sight of his own value in the process. The more men she has, the easier she replaces them. When a beautiful woman has had many relationships, she starts seeing men as easily replaceable. She becomes used to the idea that there will always be someone new to take the place of the previous one. As a result, her attitude toward men becomes shallow. Every new man is just another stage she can pass through and forget. This makes her incapable of true attachment. She doesn't see the point in building deep relationships because there will always be someone else. A man becomes a temporary companion, and once she loses interest, he is quickly replaced by another. Knowing this, is it worth your time to try and win over such a woman? It's essential to understand that if a woman easily replaces men, she will never truly value them. A real man seeks not temporary pleasures but stable, deep relationships built on mutual respect. As her past increases, her ability to form meaningful connections diminishes. The more men she has replaced, the less value she places on each one, making genuine respect impossible. Narcissism and capriciousness remain, but beauty fades. A beautiful woman often develops narcissism and capriciousness. Her appearance becomes her primary tool for manipulating those around her. But with age, this beauty fades. Then her character, selfish, capricious, and narcissistic, comes to the forefront. Her character doesn't change. It stays just as problematic as it was when she was younger. As she ages, these women begin to lose their power. Men no longer fall for their looks, and their flaws become apparent. Their former habits, like manipulation and entitlement, start to irritate those who once overlooked them. A real man knows that inner qualities are far more important than outward beauty. As time passes, beauty will fade, but inner traits remain. So it's better to choose women who are ready to build relationships based on respect and understanding, rather than just appearances. Over time, the shallow traits they relied on become their downfall. While beauty may get them attention at first, it's their character that ultimately defines their worth in the long run. Beautiful women may appear attractive at first glance, but often, behind the appearance, lie problems, manipulation, and selfishness. The stoic path of a man is one of conscious choice. Ignoring such women is a way to preserve your dignity and avoid becoming part of their games. Live consciously and choose those who value you for who you are, not for what you can give them. To ignore a beautiful but hollow woman is the choice of a strong man. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to learn more about how to build your life on your own terms and remain a strong man in a world full of false ideals.